Hey everyone, thanks for joining us here at Book Blather. If you're new here, I'm Dave, this is Olive, and we talk about books of all kinds. And we try to have a little fun while we're doing it, right? Right, Bubs? So we have shortly a book review coming from the book that took up, unfortunately, most of the last 2 weeks of January. That one's going to be a doozy, so be on the lookout for that. But in the meantime, February started, so we wanted to let you guys know what we are planning to read in February, in case anybody wants to join along. So the first thing that we're going to be finishing up. This is one of those books been hanging around for a while. We are almost there. We're going to be finishing The Doors of Eden by Adrian Tchaikovsky. So this not that we're not enjoying it. We are. It's just this is what happens. We read too many books at the same time. So this is a chunker. We've been going for a while, but we're almost there. We're going to finish this up very very soon. This is a book that's this is a alternate Earths story where we get to see we get to see from basically some different some other timelines basically. So it's pretty good. But we'll tell you more about that when we finish it. Okay, so the new books that we're going to be reading in February is first there is a reading event called Holmes is Where the Heart Is. This is run by Jim at Mystery and Mayhem, Greg at Another Bibliophile Reads, Mark at Book Time with Elvis, and Randy Ray at Literate Texan. So this is a full reading event for the month of February where there's reading prompts and everything every week. We're not going to be taking part in the whole reading event. But we will link those channels below so you can find out more information about it if you're interested. So we are going to be reading the first Sherlock Holmes book by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. And so we have never read Sherlock Holmes before, and so it's part of the magic of this channel is that I started was always a reader, but started becoming an avid reader very late. And Olive's only been you need to pick me up, Olive? Olive has only been alive for 4 years, so she hasn't had a lot of time to, read that many books. So there are a lot of things that are new to us, a lot of things that I'm sure surprise many of you that we have not read yet. And so this is one of them, right? Sherlock Holmes. We recently came in possession of this very nice volume with a complete collection of Sherlock Holmes. And so this has everything in it, from what I understand. We're going to be reading the first novel, A Study in Scarlet. And, it's published in the late 1800s. This is the first of the novels. We understand it's the place to start. This is where Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson were first introduced and go on to try to solve a murder. So we're pretty excited about that. And so the next thing is there is a reading event called 24 and 24. Run by MJ over at Reading This Life. And this is her attempt to help counteract this, too large movement about banning books. And so the idea is to read 24 banned books in 2024. So as with the other reading event, we're not committing to to fully do that challenge, but we are partaking, and we're going to be reading a number of banned books. We have put a small pile together, but the first one we'll be reading this month, and this is We. I am probably going to mispronounce the author's name. It's Vagny Zamyatin? Zamyatin maybe? So, I don't know. So we got this Penguin Classics version. This is a dystopian novel. I think one of the real first dystopian novels that first established the first kickstarted the genre. This was published. So this was originally a Russian novel, first published in English exactly 100 years ago, and it was published in English because this was banned. It was a Russian novel that was banned in the Soviet Union for many many years. I think until the 80s. So this is, like I said, it's a dystopian novel. Where society is governed by this benefactor called One State. It's a totalitarian police state that apparently had a big influence on George Orwell's 1984. And then we're going to be reading The Death of Grass. also known as No Blade of Grass, depending whether you're talking about the UK version or the US version. This seems to be a common thing. They like to retitle things when these UK books when they go into the US. So I don't know why they do that. This is I think the third book in a month we'll be reading where they've retitled, and the first title is usually better. So anyway, this is a novel from the 1950s by John Christopher, which is not his real name. Real name is Sam Yude, but he was writing, or Youd is writing as John Christopher, and this is set in a world where a virus has eliminated all grass, all forms, rice, wheat, all gone, and so creates a worldwide famine, and things start to devolve into anarchy. So that's, science fiction story about what happens to the world when that happens. So we are buddy reading this with Scott over at the Bookish Bryants, the second half of February. So we're pretty excited about this. So that's going to keep our plate pretty full. Finishing up The Doors of Eden, reading A Study in Scarlet, We, and The Death of Grass. We are also partaking in Wasted Weekend, which, if you don't know, if you're familiar, I think many people at this point are familiar with Garb August. This is a reading event run in August by Criminali. We were happy to be one of many co-hosts this past August, where for the month of August we read basically just literature that is considered by most of society to be trash, but it still can be, for many different reasons, worthwhile reading. So there's sort of a Garb August 2.5 in February, which is, the halfway mark. It's just a little mini Garb August, just if you need a little bit of fix. So it's called Wasted Weekend, and I believe I think it's the weekend of the February 17th, 18th, around then. So we're going to be taking part in that. It's going to be short stuff because it's just for a weekend. We have some ideas, but Olive and I are still negotiating what we'll be doing. So we'll be putting out a separate video of that when that's a little closer. So I think we are still working through Dracula, which is a very slow burn if you've been waiting for that. I think it's kind of on hold for now. We enjoy it, but it's, like I said, it's a slow burn, so we're kind of just filling in with it when we, when we have little breaks or just when we feel like it. So we are probably going to get back to that more in earnest in March. I don't think we'll be reading too much of that in February. So that's basically what we're planning to read for February. As I said, we got a book review coming right on the heels of this, so look out for that. But let us know what you're reading for the month of February, or if you've read any of these and you have thoughts on them. Of course, we're always curious to hear that. And if you're interested in joining us in any of this stuff, let us know. So we've linked all those other channels below if you want to find out more about those reading events. And but otherwise, thanks so much for watching. If you don't want to leave anything substantive, you can always leave Olive a puppy emoji. She always likes to see those. So we'll see you very soon. In the meantime, take care of yourselves and each other, and we'll see you next time.